the Minerals Commission, who are back at our table this fine Wednesday morning to talk about the steps being taken by government to equip Mincom to improve efficiency in its service delivery. Why is this necessary? We are hearing that Ghana's mineral revenue from which we get from proceeds from our precious minerals have gone up considerably, and we are told that according to the Ghana Chamber of Mines, mining companies repatriated $4.2 billion in Ghana in 2023, and the figure is a 1.4% increase over the 2022 figure. We are also being told that $2.7 billion out of the $4.2 billion that we got in 2023 was channeled or processed through our local banks, which is one of the things that Mincom has been fighting for, that is for local participation in the mining space. So a lot is happening, and the idea is government wants to equip Minerals Commission to ensure that it is up to task in dealing with these huge volumes of money. But what exactly is it doing to equip Mincom? The CEO of the Minerals Commission, Mr. K.Ayisi, is at our table to tell us more about what's happening. Mr. Ayisi, welcome back. We have not seen you in a long time, but we are happy to have you back.
Yeah, it's true.
Mincom, government says it wants to equip you to improve your efficiency. What were the lapses before, and what is now being targeted in this efficiency boosting drive?
Thelma, good morning, and it's a pleasure to be here. I've not been here for a while. The time keeps, conflicting with other issues, so I said today, let me come. Two things. We've been mining since 1897. And then we have realized that technology has practically changed the face of mining in Ghana. All bodies or deposits that we could not mine decades ago or some years ago, today with technology you can mine them. Even if you take small-scale mining, the way we used to do it in the past is no longer the way they do it now. I mean, technology has changed everything. And then the same technology has made us realize that we have minerals practically everywhere in Ghana. Don't forget that data so far shows that as of last year, no less than 45% of the total receipts of Ghana, everything that went out last year from this country, everything, cocoa, gold, non-traditional export, whatever you want to call it, officially recorded to the Bank of Ghana, and the data shows that at least 45% alone came from mining. This year, it may even be more than maybe 50 because of the high prices we are seeing. So for a sector that brought in 7.6 billion out of your total exports of nearly 14 billion, you cannot just treat it anyhow. So we are being told 7.6 billion was obtained from receipts, everything, mining. And then now you have just read this piece to me which says that 4.2 billion was repatriated to do all kinds of things. We've got to be very effective and efficient. Thelma, let me say that practically all the 16 regions in Ghana, some kind of mining is taking place. Don't tell me which mining goes on in Greater Accra. Quarries. You go to Shire Hills, there are so many quarries there. That's mining. It's regulated under the mining law. So it means that for an activity that is, I call it the heartbeat of the country or the DNA of the country, it has to be regulated properly. So for example, we have to make sure that we're getting the monies we are supposed to get, that accidents are not happening. It's quite the slightest mistake, people are going to die. They use all kinds of dangerous substances, chemicals, explosives, etc. So for us, for government, they have to make sure that we are well equipped to do our work very well. And I'm saying that particularly the last 3-4 years, a lot has happened. So these are the reasons. Change in technology, they need to be more efficient. The fact that you are dealing with an industry that is quite sensitive, the health and safety standards are so high. The slightest mistake, there'll be a problem. You see what happened at PRT, that kind of thing. It shouldn't happen again. So it has to be properly regulated. And if you are calling for effective regulation, it means that all the resources must be deployed by government to make sure that it is done. So for us in mining, there's nothing like an excuse, okay, because the activity itself comes with a lot of environmental challenges. So you have to be on top of issues.
But Minerals Commission is not a mining company. So what kind of infrastructure do you require?
So two things. Let me take it this way. I'll look at the issue of training and then the kind of resources that we need. So take a mine like Newmont. Newmont Mining Corporation is the biggest producer of gold in the world. Okay? My last check, their market capitalization is more than half of our GDP. Yes. If you like, let's say that perhaps they are as rich as Ghana or maybe richer because they took about 13.8 or so, roughly $14 billion to go and buy a gold mine in Australia, which was $200 million more than our total exports. Do you understand that? Everything that left Ghana last year, you add $200 million on top of that. That was the kind of money Newmont took to go and buy Newcrest, which is the biggest producer of gold in Australia, just to acquire them. They have two big mines here, in Ghana here. They have one in Ahafo, which is the biggest gold mine in Ghana now. It's both an underground operations and surface. We'll go there. And then they have one in Achim. As we speak, they are building a third one, which is at 30 kilometers north of the Ahafo corridor. So they're going to do over 1 million ounces, from next year. If you translate that in today's revenue, you're talking about 2.3 billion. Tema, such an activity, such a mine, okay, which is owned by an American company. America controls a quarter of the world's GDP. They deploy all kinds of state-of-the-art technology. You cannot have ordinary inspectors. So that means that for the Minerals Commission inspector, whether he's machinery, whether he's a mining engineer, whether he's electrical, whether it's processing plant, etc., when he goes there, he should be able to spot potential health and safety hazards and ensure that things are done properly, or else the slightest visit will be accident. So you have to make sure that he has a requisite knowledge, the same world-class knowledge, like the same Ghanaian who is working for Newmont, or else there will be an accident. We'll be holding committees of inquiry every year to be inquiring into why accidents occur, and then you always be flagging maybe Minerals Commission officers are poorly equipped. So what are we doing? I'll give you the best example. As we speak, we have found lithium in Ghana. An Australian company has been given lithium. They've just listed those conditionalities government gave. They just listed. In a month or two, or in the course of this year, they'll start construction. It will take 22 months. Tema, our engineers here are used to gold, bauxite, manganese, and diamonds. You understand that? We don't have a lithium mine in Ghana. We are now going to regulate them. So it means that in about 2 years' time, when the mine will be ready, it means that all the MINCOM inspectors should be familiar with a lithium mine. Do you understand that? Yes, they should be familiar with the lithium mine. So what do? Government says take them out to Australia, which produces half of the world's lithium, for them to go and see what is going on there. So some of them have gone there for school. Some of them have gone there for training. Understand that some of them are working in the mines there. That is the kind of investment government
They've already left.
They've left. I mean,
the selection process has gone on.
There are as many as about 10 of them. Half of them women. They are engineers studying in Australia. That is what government is doing. He said, take them out there. So,
financed by the government of Ghana.
That is it. The Minerals Commission is public. It's public money. They are there learning. Some of them are working in the mines. Some of them are also in the school. So we are expecting that in about 2 years' time, they'll come with knowledge. This is cause some were scholarship, some we have to pay for them. So that's a typical example. And then the mines are scattered all over Ghana. You need to build offices to create an environment for them to work. You understand that? Because you can't sit in Accra and regulate Ahafo mine and regulate Takwa, Akimoda. So I brought some videos and pictures to show.
So it's decentralization.
That is it. You have to decentralize your activities if you need to reach out everywhere.
Don't the mines host the MINCOM inspectors when they go around?
No, the miners are just around, and then we also build our offices close to them. And then they can have access. We are not alone. I mean, EPA goes there, Geological survey goes there. So
Mincom is building offices.
So yes, and it's being financed by the government. So this one, for example, was commissioned last week. Tema, until recently, were holed up in some one single room somewhere. But then, so that is a minister. It was commissioned. I was there myself, so that's a board chair on the right. That's a minister in the middle, and then the paramount chief of Achim Kotoku. You can see my face hiding there on the fire. Of course, that is me. Welcome, the paramount chief welcoming me there. So now we have a modern office at Akimodan hooked to the internet 24 hours.
So does that mean you are also recruiting?
No, we sent some officers there already.
Okay.
You know, and a lot of recruitment was done, so we've moved people around. So this is for small scale. And in that, so Akwetia, Kim, Asene, across. So that is it. This is a typical small scale office. You understand that? So this is how government is equipping us. Look at the landscape. So for us, we were ready even with Green Ghana before it came. So we have the mining engineer there who is a district inspector of mines. The mechanical engineer is there. The one in charge of processing, etc. So from here, they can visit the various small-scale operations just around that area. The good news is that this is a model office. In about 2-3 weeks, we're building the same thing. The same thing will be commissioned in Bebiani. Bebiani, for example, that district hosts about 3 big mines. You know the famous Bebiani mine. We're just 5-10 minutes away from them. Then there is Chirano gold mine, which is about 30 kilometers south. And also there's also Ghana bauxite. So you're going to see the same office. So maybe first week in June, I'll come back and show you the Bibiani one. So this is what government is doing across the country. And you know, they are building 10 offices. 10 offices to decentralize the operations of Minerals Commission.
So these are just for administrative
This is
purposes,
just administrative to provide a place for the officers to work. You understand that? These are areas where mining activities are taking place, where we didn't have very good offices or we didn't have them at all. So, and I'll give you an example. Some are also being elevated to regional status. So, for instance, WA, which was until recently a district office, is now being elevated to the status of a region. Why? Because Azuma Resources will start construction of a new mine in the course of the year. So, the WA office is no longer being headed by a district officer, it's now being headed by a regional inspector of mines. Bolga has been elevated to a region. Construction is going on. WA construction is going on. Savannah, which is now the new frontier for gold, has also been elevated to a region. You understand? But the regional office is being built in Boli because the western half of Savannah, that's where we have the gold. So this is our Kumasi office, Telma. This
is completed?
This will be completed and commissioned sometime in October. So that is a story. And then I wish the gentleman stays there for a while. So that is the lab on the left.
Shorter building?
Yes, that's the lab on the left. So as we speak, we have only one lab in Ghana. That is in Takoradi. Thelma,
what kind of things you test?
Well, I'll come to that. So if you have activities in 16 regions, how can you have one lab? So we have only one lab in Takoradi. So this office building is going to regulate 4 big mines. 1, Ahafo South, which is the biggest gold mine in Ghana. 2, Ahafo North, that's 30 kilometers north of the current operations. That will be commissioned next year. Then the famous Obuasi mine, which has been around since 1897. And then the last one is Asanko. So those 4 big mines will be regulated from here. It means that the equipment they use, you see, they use all kinds of things. They test them. It's just like the way the fire service people come around to test your equipment to make sure that when there's fire break, you don't use equipment where nothing happens. Or the ECG people come around to make sure that you have proper wiring. Yes, the same thing. We test all kinds of equipment. And now it's part of the decentralization process because you see, then folks in Obuasi, K.Ayisi, that's a Newmont's mine, don't have to go to Takoradi to test. For example, they use all kinds of ropes. You need to test and make sure that they are good. So once this lab is completed, the items will be tested here. The same structure, but this time 5-story building, is being constructed in Tamale. So the Tamale one will also come with a lab because you see, we are not expecting. That is a side view of the Kumasi one, but they will show the Tamale one shortly. So Thelma, we are not expecting that Cardinal, which is now the next big gold mine in Ghana, it will be commissioned in November. It's taking us more or less like 11 years to have a new mine. The last greenfield mine was 2013, New Montachim. So I'm not expecting that Azuma Resources and then Cardinal Namdeni will come to Kumasi for testing. Then you are not effective. So we are putting up a huge edifice in Tamale.
Another one in Tamale.
Yes, with a lab so that they can do their testing.
So the labs don't test the minerals.
We
they
test
the
test
machinery.
everything. So for instance, we can go to the mine and pick samples of the soil or some of the water contaminants and those, and come and test them in our lab. Because we also have chemists, we also have metallurgists and co. And then we can test and say, no, certain chemicals, the levels in them are higher than what is permitted. Do you understand? And then we say, change it, stop doing this, or we fine you. You understand that? Because you have to make sure that they don't pollute the environment. So we test for dangerous substances, we test substances, and then we also test equipment they use to make sure that the equipment, because what we don't want is that there's an accident and then only to realize that, oh, a particular rope or equipment was faulty. Do you understand that? Why do you go for roadworthy tests? It's the same principle, your vehicle. Before they will license the vehicle, what do? You take it to DVLA or their agent. Then they'll test the car and make sure that everything is working. The brakes don't fail, everything is working. Before they issue the license and then you take the insurance. So it's the same principles here. We have to make sure that all the equipment, the machinery that they use at the mines are working, okay? That they are safe. You understand?
So now, apart from Takrady, we are getting Kumasi coming on board, and then Tamale. So let me
run through the offices government is helping us put up. So Akim Modan was commissioned last week. The building you saw is a typical district office. Same will be commissioned in about 2-3 weeks, if you like, the last week of June for Bebiani. So that's 2. Kumasi office is being, constructed. It will be ready sometime in October. So that takes us to 3. Tamale is ongoing. That may be ready in August. So that takes us to 4. Now, while construction is going on, Bogatanka construction is going on, Bole construction is going on, Takwa will start next month, Chebi construction is going on. So these are the new offices the government is helping put up.
And we are getting value for money.
Of course.
What's the cost here?
Well, the cost is that we charge for our fees. Nothing is free, okay? When they bring the equipment or we go and pick samples of anything, we test them in the lab, they pay for it. That is it. You understand that?
But how much is it costing us to put these buildings up?
Let me put it this way. You are conducting this interview in an office. Do you understand that? That's a studio, well decorated, etc. You pay for all these facilities. That is it. Okay? I mean, you remember, yes, in fact, the best answer to you is that, you remember when Professor Frimpong Boate's report came out? Okay? It was all over the place. And everybody was running with it. One of the things that came out strongly in the report was that he said Minerals Commission was poorly equipped to be able to do its work very well. In fact, they used the term, the inspectorate division is dysfunctional. And my worry at that time was that perhaps if he had spoken to us, you realize that these were the kind of things the government, was doing. At the time these things were being done, he was even a minister.
They were at the planning stage. A lot of them were being planned
these things were not built overnight.
Okay.
They were not built overnight. The Kumasi building was not built overnight. You can see it, massive story. We've gone fully online now. Tema, I'm saying that you can apply for licenses on Saturday and Sunday and let anybody say that I'm lying. Okay? So we are no longer dysfunctional. You can apply for licenses Monday to Sunday, 24 hours. Anytime we'll see it. You can make payments online.
Just that work can be done on it during the working hours.
So we have become more efficient now.
But you can apply at the weekend. But will somebody be there working at the weekend?
Yes, we work.
To attend to the issues for you?
They do inspections, everything. We process. We don't work, of course, by the labor law, people can only work Monday to Friday. But the weekend, the inspectors work, myself, we work. We process applications. And clients will tell you that they receive responses on Saturday, on Sunday, midnight, etc. So we become very efficient now. We're not perfect, but I'm saying, and I can speak for myself, and then of course the general public too can call to find out whether or not our services have not improved. Galamsey, of course, is there. But then when I joined, I'm happy it's moved from Milo to now Pineapple. juice.
So we are getting better.
Of course. When I joined,
we want crystal clear
no
waters.
problem. When I joined Minerals Commission in 2002, 2nd April, I remember very well. This is not the Minerals Commission I met. Okay, the Oda office was in one room somewhere. Today they have a nice working edifice to work with. You understand that? So offices are being built, and these are not plans are far advanced. You can see them. Offices are being built. We are deploying technology. We're taking our staff abroad, and I can tell you that close to about 30 Minerals Commission inspectors are learning in UK, in US, in Canada, etc., just to make sure that they match the Newmont, the Goldfields and Co. Because I don't want you to come and sit here, and then you call people, and then you have front page committee of inquiry report. You see, so
what is this contributing to the fight against Galamsey?
It is to make
What is the government support? What are these steps adding to the Galamsey fight?
So we have just acquired drones, and then government has given us money to buy tracking devices now.
Drones and tracking devices.
Yes, and we are fitting them into earth-moving equipment. So that is it.
What happened to the boats?
Tema, you haven't you been to some public offices and you ask yourself whether or not human beings should even work here? And the good thing about this place is that, you know, it tells me how the assemblies are planning their stuff now. This is land that was given to us by the assembly. On our right is Forestry Commission. And then you have, what do you call it, GRA. And then you also have Cocoa Board. They have not built. Ours is ready. You understand? This is to make us very efficient. So we started this construction about 2-3 years ago. The land was acquired years ago. So when I was defending many of the things in the report, this was what I was talking about. You understand? I mean, the whole, you know, and we love negative things as Ghanaians.
I think that we want accountability for the trust that we put in our leaders.
There's nothing wrong if we come out with negative news about how poorly things are being done in this country. But also...
Because it's someone's job to make sure it doesn't get done.
Of course, so we also need to tell our story if government is doing well. You understand that? These are millions of your tax pay, you know, taxpayers' money. We all pay taxes that are being poured into Minerals Commission. So that it doesn't take
that's why people want to see the evidence on the ground. So for those who don't work in the mining field, for those who are not in the mines, who are not into jewelry, who are not into small scale, large scale, or medium scale mining, they have their own pegs of measuring whether or not the Minerals Commission is doing its work. And for some, it is the state of the river bodies. So those people need to see how this government support is helping in that fight.
That I'll not deny. So next week, for instance, there are two things. Yes, Galamsey has not gone away, but then I've told you the fundamental cause of Galamsey, which most people don't know. The main cause of Galamsey is getting a place for them to work. Ask yourself what is responsible for the haphazard digging. They get up and dig anywhere. It means that they are struggling to get a place. The large-scale people pick up prospecting licenses, explore, and then build the Cardinal Namdini we are seeing, we're going to see in November, and Newmont are half enough. The small scale, there's nothing like exploration, so the government will have to do it. And I'll tell you something, how, and I see that not just the government, even the opposition parties are responding. So I'm beginning to see almost all the manifestos now saying, listen carefully, that they are going to make money available for geological investigation. We've been calling for this since 1989. Why 1989? That was the time small scale was lawfully permitted. So it has taken everybody 30 years or so, 3 decades, to now say we will now make millions of dollars available to geological survey to conduct the investigation. We started about 2 years ago, but if you're talking about small-scale activities in 13 regions, it's not something you can solve overnight. Because I have been saying this, and I say it everywhere. You can deploy the entire Ghana army, the entire police, volunteer force, whatever you call it. If we don't address the issue of geological investigation from medium to long term, the problem will not go away. Okay? You go and remove them from the water body. How long can you keep doing that? So when I saw excerpts of almost all the political parties saying that as part of, their policies in the mining sector, I saw it.
Responsible mining.
They were quite heavy that no, we will now make money available for geological investigation to deal with the small-scale problem. So it means that they are understanding the issues now.
What do we stand to benefit? I know I've talked about Galamsey a lot because water is life. But what's the expectation? Now that much has been given to Mincom, we are expecting much results,
What you are expecting is efficient service. Okay? Like, for example, you are expecting that when you make an application for a passport, maybe a week or 3 days you get it. Is that not the same thing?
Yep.
So you are expecting that licenses that used to take 6 months, a week. Now, within a week or 2, maximum 2 weeks, small-scale licenses are processed. It's all because of the digitization. You understand? So we are expecting that we'll give the public better services, will be more efficient. You understand that? At first, you have to struggle and come to Minerals Commission and come and pay banker's draft. When it's after 5, we will not see you. But you can pay with your card online, Saturday, Sunday, and upload your application. So I am proud to say that the accounts have a saying, the salt does not praise itself. But Tema, services have improved significantly within the last 2 years, as far as Minerals Commission is concerned. Training, we're doing it. Now, online system has shortened the licensing process, so things are faster now. People are paying online. Staff are going abroad.
Take us on the ground.
To the extent now that
take us on the ground with you once again.
I'll take you there.
And let's see and bring the story to people so they can tell what
the mining
situation
engineers
is.
and workers who work at the mines, who earn several salaries more than what we pay our people at Minerals Commission, they now want to come and work at Minerals Commission.
Things are looking up for
things are improving.
But thank you for sitting with us.
Yes.
Next week, we'll have another conversation into another area of mining, and then perhaps we can get some more insights.
Next week, I intend for us to look at the degraded areas, all the areas that have been damaged or degraded arising out of illegal mining, the steps the government has taken to reclaim some of them.
Reclaiming degraded
reclamation of the degraded areas.
I think we would love to see that.
Yes, so
thank you very much.
So a lot of resources have gone into the efforts of the Minerals
Martin
Commission.
K.Ayisi is the CEO of the Minerals Commission, talking to us about the steps being taken by government to equip Mincom to improve its service delivery and to improve efficiency. So he's told us about the buildings that are being put up across the country to make sure that the work of the Mincom is much easier and closer to mining communities. He's talked about training as well for staff in Ghana and outside the country for those who are studying to get the expertise to do the next stage of mining for the country, which is lithium mining and all the other stuff that's going on. You can reach the Minerals Commission via its social media handles, Mincom everywhere. They are on LinkedIn, they are on Facebook, they are on Twitter, and Mr. Ayisi is very responsive. His team is as well on their social media handles. Or you can reach out to us and we'll pass on your information to the team for Minerals Commission. Emmanuel Jerry, good morning to you and to all your friends at the Minerals Commission. And we've missed you. Good to have you back. We'll see you again next Wednesday when Mr. Ayisi and his team promise to come our way with another edition of Time with the Minerals Commission, this time talking about reclaimed areas, reclaimed degraded areas, places that have been lost to mining activities, but which are now being put to other uses. And we know that you'll be interested in that conversation. Thank you, Mr. Ayisi, for sitting with us. We want to send massive shouts to Virtual Sound Lab, who are our new partners here on GTV Breakfast. Virtual Sound Lab, located at Asylum Down Roundabout in Accra. It is really, truly the heart of sound. For all your musical instruments, go to Virtual Sound Lab. Call them 05401 20757. So Virtual Sound Lab. You can also reach them on 0244 311 356. Virtual Sound Lab is the heart of sound. Happy birthday shouts going out to Chesto of Ghana Civil Aviation Authority from all your members, and a special one, Mrs. Sefa Ko Gavi Krenzel, Head of Hospitality at the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, Janita and the team, and all of us that you feed with your delicious meals. We all wish you a very, very happy birthday. We are going to take you now back to the Central Region. Alan is standing by, bringing us some more nuggets of the CPP's anniversary and its beginnings in the Central Region. The Breakfast Show is far from over. We have other conversations. A book is being introduced to you today. And of course, we have JM at the tail end of the show. Mr. Ayisi.
Tema, I'm looking to see the Green Ghana trees. I don't know whether you guys planted trees around
Oh,
here.
we did. I'll take you to go and have a look.
It was not just the Friday. It's the whole month.
It's still continuing.
And so I'll talk to the Forestry Commission.
They should bring us more.
Economic trees.
That we can make.
So
GBC has lots of mango trees. We all love our mango trees at GBC.
To see tick and go around. So we'll send you more.
Thank you, Mr. Ayisi. Thank you for staying on. We'll be right back after this break. Alan is taking over in the Central Region.